I was around 10 or 11. Me and best friend were having a sleepover. I have 3 dogs that love to bark at literally everything. When me and my friend got off of the bus and went into my house, everything was fine. We played games, watched scary movies until it became dark. My dogs were barking like crazy outside all day, so we had let them in earlier that day. My black dog Molly rang the bell we had on my door. I went outside and let all 3 of my dogs out. When I went inside, they had already started barking like I expected. A few minutes later, my mom came into the living room and told me and Friend that we had to let the dogs in before we went to bed. I told my best friend that if I was sleeping, she had to let them in still. She agreed, and we continued the movie we were watching. I think we were watching The Blair Witch, but this was a few years ago. Anyways, a few hours later, I was fast asleep, and my friend asked, "Hey Kayla, do I let the dogs in?" I don't remember this part, but apparently I said, "Yeah, you can sit on the pool." The next part is what my friend saw. She told me she had went outside, and the first thing she noticed was the smell. She said it smelled like a dead, rotting animal that got microwaved. She also said she couldn't hear the dogs or anything else. It was like the sound of the woods had been turned off. My friend felt nervous and said she felt eyes on her and did not feel alone. She went to my gate, and that's when she saw it. She couldn't see it very well in the dark, but from what she could see, it was a severely malnourished wolf, and it smiled at her. She ran inside and violently woke me up. She practically shoved me outside, and that wolf was still there. I put my dogs inside, but noticed that one of them was not there. I grabbed a flashlight and shined it at the thing. It had my dog. Now, one thing about me is you cannot hurt my dogs without me fighting you. So I ran at that thing as my friend yelled at me not to. Once I got to the tree line, I had scared it off just enough to grab my dog. I looked in the woods, and the wolf was standing on 2 legs. I don't remember much, but I do remember it laughing. It sounded sinister, like something of a demon. I ran back as that laughter seemed to repeat in my head, mocking me. Inside, we looked at my dog. She had a large scratch on her stomach. We woke my mom up and told her a wolf had scratched her, and when we took her to the vet the next day, she was completely fine. Please don't mind the spelling or incorrect punctuation. I'm not very good at writing. I never saw that thing again, but I never told anyone else. Me and my friend are still close, but we never talk about what happened that night. According to my friend, she said that every time she comes over, she sees things out by the thick woods surrounding my house. Another encounter I had was more recent. I'm 13 right now, and this happened a few months ago. I have a trail that goes into the woods leading to a pond. I used to drive there on my 4-wheeler to catch frogs. One day in spring, I went to go to the pond with my dad. He was going to hunt for deer while I played by the water. It takes around 20 minutes to get to the pond. Around 14 minutes, and my dad stopped the 4-wheeler and told me to be quiet and listen. I did, and heard the sound of branches snapping, as if something big was stepping on them. It seemed like everything was silent except for the sound of something coming towards us. My dad knew that when it was silent, some big predator was round. We waited around 6 minutes, and then something loud broke the silence. We heard the sound of my grandma calling out to us. "I need help." That could not be possible, since my grandmother had been dead since I was 9. My dad turned the 4-wheeler back on and floored it out. The time back would usually take around 10 minutes, but we made it to the house in 3. I never saw what was pretending to be my grandma, and I am positive I do not to encounter that thing ever again. My dad told my mom, and we moved to town. My family says it's because it's close to my school, but I have a feeling it's because of what we encountered in the woods that night.